Hello Kings, I welcome you all to the channel. In this video today we are going to learn about how to construct the Darvish-Pauli's and Fisher's ideal index number when total expenditure is given. So in this type of question they would have not give the quantity. Instead of that they would have give the total expenditure, but we should not consider this as in quantity. So we have to calculate the quantity in order to compute and to solve the problem. So without any further delay, let's get into the video. First, let's start with a question. From the following data, construct Dorbish-Bowley's and Fisher's ideal index number. So in this question, what we have to do is we have to compute the Dorbish-Bowley's and Fisher's ideal index number. And they have given a set of items 1, 2, 3, 4, and they have give the base year price and also the total expenditure. This is just the expenditure, so we should not consider this as a quantity. This is expenditure, and they have give a price in the base period, so we should consider this as a P naught and this as a P naught and Q naught. This is not a Q naught. Okay, it's not Q naught, it's in combination of price and quantity. So expenditure is a combination of price and quantity, so this should be considered as a P naught and Q naught. And they have give a price in the current year which should be considered as a P1, and the total expenditure in the current year which should be considered as a P1 and Q1, because it is a expenditure is a combination of price and quantity. So let's start with the answer. So this is how the solution table looks like. So we have to take down whatever which is there in the question. So first they have give the items. I have written the items, and this is a total row, and P naught is a price in the base period. P naught Q naught is a total expenditure in the base year. So this is not a quantity, this is an expenditure. So we have written this as P naught and Q naught. And P1 is a price in the current period, and P1 and Q1 is a expenditure in the current year. Again, this is not a Q1, it's a combination of price and quantity in the current year. So we have written it as P1 and Q1. And the thing which we need is quantity in the base period. So I have written a quantity in the base period, that is Q naught, and again we require a quantity of the current year, so I have written as a Q1. And next is the formulas, the things which is required in the formulas. I have written it. We have written P naught and Q naught, like those things are needed here. And I have written P1 and Q1 which is required here, and another two things which I require is P1 and Q naught, so I have written P1 and Q naught. Again, the thing which I require is P naught and Q1, so I have written a P naught and Q1. So it's not difficult to construct the table. You should write what they have given in the question, and again you should write what is required in the formula, so then you can complete the table. So let's start with the solution. So let's write the P naught value. P naught value is 2, 4, 1 and 5. We don't require the total of P naught, so let's write it as nil. Okay, again P naught Q naught value is total expenditure value. We have to take down the total expenditure value in P naught and Q naught table. So 50, 20, 8 and 30. So here we require the total of P naught and Q naught, because we have to compute the solution, right? So we require the total of P naught and Q naught. So the total of P naught and Q naught is 108. So 50 plus 20 plus 80 plus 30 is 108. And we have to take down the value of P1. P1 value is 5, 8, 2, 10. Again, we don't need the total of P1, so it is nil. And the P1 Q1 value is the total expenditure value of current year, so we have to take down that value. 60, 48, 20 and 70. And the total of all this is 198. So the total of P1 and Q1 is 198. So 60 plus 48 plus 20 plus 70 is 198. So these are the things which is available in the question table. Now we have to compute this Q0 and Q1. You might be wondering like how we can extract the quantities from the expenditure. It's a very simple thing where you have to use this formula. That is, the formula for expenditure is equals to price into quantity. As I said you earlier, expenditure is a combination of price and unit, I mean quantity. So we have to compute this Q naught now. So to obtain the Q naught, we have to use this formula. So first let's compute the quantity in the base period. First we have to write down the expenditure in the base period. So let me write here base year. Okay, so the expenditure in the base year is 50 is equals to price in the base year is 2. 2 into, we don't know the quantity, so Q. It is in multiplication form. So if we transfer this here, then it will become a division format. So let me divide it. 50 divided by 2 is 25. So the quantity for the item 1 is 25. So the same wise we have to compute all the things. Okay. So the next, the total expenditure in the base year, that is item 2 is 20 is equals to, and price is 4. 4 into quantity. We don't know the quantity. Okay. Let's me transfer this 4 to here. If I transfer, the multiplication form will convert into divided by form, and the answer will be 5. And the total expenditure in the item 3 is 8. Price is 1 into Q. So when I transfer this to here, 1 divided by 8 is 8. Okay, next, the expenditure in the item 4 is 30 and the price is 5 into Q. When I transfer this 5 here, it will become to a division form. So when I divide 30 by 5 is 6. So these are the Q naught, which is the quantities in the base year. So it's very simple where you have to use this formula. We have to write the expenditure value, we have to write the price value, we have to divide it, and then finally we'll be obtaining the quantity. So let me write this Q naught value here. The Q naught value is 25, 5, 8 and 6, and we don't need the value of Q naught, so let me write it as nil. Okay, again now we require Q1, so quantity in the current year. So like same wise we have to compute. Let me write it as current year. Okay, so for item 1, the total expenditure is 60 is equals to, and the price is 5 into quantity is, I don't know the quantity, so let me write the task Q. So when I transfer this 5 here, it will become a division format. So 60 divided by 5 is 12, and second is the quantity expenditure is 48, price is 8 into Q. When I transfer this 8 here, I'll be getting the answer as 6. Okay, next is the expenditure is 20 and the price is 2 into Q. When I transfer this 2 here, 20 divided by 2 is 10. And then finally the expenditure is 70 is equals to, the price is 10 into Q. When I transfer this 10 here, it will become 70 divided by 10. So the answer will be 7. So these are the quantities in the current period. So let me take down all these values in the Q0, Q1, 12, 6, 10 and 7. Again, we don't need the total of Q1. So let me write this as null. Okay, now we have Q0, P0 and P1, Q1. And the leftover things is P1 and Q0 and P0 and Q1. So I have written that, and let me compute it. Okay, So the P naught value is 2 and the Q1 value is 12. Okay, so 2 into 12 is 24 and 4 into 6 is 24 and 1 into 10 is 10 and 5 into 7 is 35. Okay, so this is the P naught and Q1 value and we require the total of this because we have to compute it here, right? So the total of 24, 24, 10 and 35 is 93 and this will be considered as summation P naught and Q1. Okay, so the next thing which we require is P1 and Q0. So we have to multiply this P1 and Q0. So 5 into 25 is 125 and 8 into 5 is 40. 2 into 8 is 16 and 10 into 6 is 60. So the total of summation P1 Q0 is 125 plus 40 plus 16 plus 60 is 241. Okay, we have computed the entire table. So the only thing which is risky here is we have to compute this Q0 and Q1. We have to derive this Q0 and Q1 from the total expenditure. So it is very simple. You have to divide the expenditure and the price. 50 divided by 2, 20 divided by 4, 8 divided by 1, 30 divided by 5. And for obtaining the Q1, you have to divide 60 divided by 5, 48 divided by 8, 20 divided by 2 and 70 divided by 10. Otherwise, you can use the formula. From this, you can obtain this quantity in the base year and quantity in the current year. So we have got all the things which is required for the formula. So let me compute it. Okay. So the Dorbish Bowley's price index number formula is half into summation P1 Q0 divided by summation P0 Q0 plus summation P1 Q1 divided by summation P0 Q1 into 100. So let me compute the values. 1 divided by 2 into summation P1 Q0 value. Summation P1 Q0 value is 241 divided by summation P0 Q0 value is 108. Okay, plus summation P1 Q1 value is 198 divided by summation P0 Q1 value is 93 into 100. Okay, so first let me divide this. So 241 divided by 108 is 2.2314. After point, let me take a 4 digit. So it is Yavish. Okay, you can take even 2, 3 or 4. So I am taking a 4 digit. So 2.2314 plus 198 divided by 93. The answer will be 2.1290 into 100. So after doing this, let me add this. 2.2314 plus 2.1290 is 4.3604 into 100. Okay, so let me multiply this 4.3604 into 100. The value will be like 436.04. Now let me divide this 436.04 and the answer will be 218.04. What we have to do is we have to divide the 436.04 by 2. Now let's compute Fisher's ideal index number, and the formula for Fisher ideal index number is square root of summation P1 Q0 divided by summation P0 Q0 into summation P1 Q1 divided by summation P0 Q1 into 100. So let me take down the values. First write the square root, and the summation P1 Q0 value is 241 divided by summation P0 Q0 value is 108 into summation P1 Q1 value is 198 divided by summation P0 Q1 value is 93 into 100. So let me divide this 241 divided by 108 and the answer will be like 2.2314 into 198 divided by 93, and the answer will be 2.1290 into 100. Okay, so first let's multiply these two numbers. So if we multiply, we'll be getting the answer as 4.7506 into 100. So let me remove the square root. So you do the square root of 4.7506 and the answer will be like 2.1795 into 100. So let me divide this 2.1795 into 100 and the answer will be like 217.95. So it's very simple. You have to identify whether it is a total expenditure or a quantity. They would have given total amount. So in certain cases you have to compute this quantity. Okay, so I think you all like this video. If you like this video, do subscribe to King Makers and share this with your friends. Thank you all.